If you watched the previous video, then you already knew this video was coming. In the last video, I explained sender authentication in plain English, so that's SPF, DKIM, Demark records, and why they're so important to any successful email marketing strategy. So if you haven't seen that video, pause, go back. For the rest of you, let's get into it. Just as a quick reminder, sender authentication is extremely important because it ensures no one can forge or fake an email on your behalf. And it also lets the recipient servers know I've given MailChimp or whatever ESP you're using permission to send on my behalf. So just a few things before we begin. I'm going to go through each of the ESPs, so MailChimp, SendGrid, and ActiveCampaign. And we're always going to begin from the screen that immediately follows a successful login. So we're going to go ahead and start with MailChimp, accounts, settings. Then we're going to go to domains, authenticate. And here we're going to see the type of record. So for DKIM, we're going to see a CNAME record. And for SPF, we're going to see a text record. We're just going to pause for a minute, go ahead over to ActiveCampaign and show you how to get those records in ActiveCampaign. Settings, up to advanced. This is going to be selected first. ActiveCampaign manages deliverability and authentication for me. Not good enough. We're going to go ahead and click on I will manage my own email authentication. And you're going to type in your domain and click generate. Scroll down a bit. Do the same thing for sender ID. Click generate. And we're going to pause. Head over to SendGrid, settings, sender authentication, get started. And this first option is optional. It's not necessary. It's just in case you want some pointers and you can locate your DNS or hosting provider here. I'm going to show you so you can just skip all of that for now. And would you like to brand the links for your domain? We're going to click yes. So if you want your tracking links to show your domain and not some weird SendGrid domain, click yes. Next. Craft Courage. Next. What I'm going to do is show you how to add this record into a cPanel setup. And for the majority of you all, once you log into your hosting control panel, this is what it's going to look like. We're going to locate the section that says domains, find the zone editor. And I'm going to be working with the craftcourage.com domain. So I'm going to go ahead and select manage after I find that domain. We're going to start with MailChimp. This is a DKIM record as it shows, and it says create a CNAME record, which is very important. I'm going to just highlight that. Come over to our zone editor, add record, CNAME. So we've positively matched CNAME. Now we're going to create a CNAME record for this string right here. We're going to highlight it, Control-C, or right-click and copy. Paste that information in this particular field. Come over to record. And this is going to be the value. And you would click add record at this point. For my example, I'm not going to do that because I've already authenticated this domain, meaning I've already have this record added somewhere in these records. So I'm going to clear it out just to show you how to do it again with the next record. So again, this is the SPF, and we're going to locate the type. Make sure we recognize that. TXT. We're going to make sure when we add a record that matches TXT. craftcourage.com. craftcourage.com. Then we're going to come over here and copy this value. Control C, right click, copy, whatever you're most comfortable with. Paste it in this field, and you would click add record. You would give this about 10 minutes or so, then click on this authenticate domain button. If it doesn't authenticate right away, no problem. Sometimes it takes some time to propagate. It can take up to 24 hours. As I've mentioned, I've already added these records in the past, so I'm going to show you what it looks like when the domain successfully authenticates. And there you have it. So now we're going to go over to GoDaddy, which 90% of you use. Their interface is completely unique. It doesn't look like the cPanel that we just used at all. So it's going to be very valuable to show specifically how someone who's a customer of GoDaddy would go about adding these records as well. Before I get started, it's important to know that the screen that everyone sees after successfully logging in isn't necessarily going to be the same. So I'm going to show you how, no matter what screen you're at, how to get to where we need to get to, which is the DNS records for your domain. So the upper right hand corner, we're going to locate your name or your business name, and then click on Manage Domains. So now we're in the My Domain section, and we're going to locate the domain that we're attempting to authenticate, and then click on Manage DNS. And this is exactly where we want to be. So no matter where you are upon login, we need everyone with a GoDaddy account that's following along to be right here at this DNS management screen. And for this example, I will show you SendGrid. So we have CNAME records, we have a host, and we have a value. There's a special way that you want to input these records into GoDaddy. You want to omit the domain name, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But essentially, GoDaddy already knows that you're on the correct domain because we just selected it on the previous screen. So I'll give you an example. This is going to be a record type that's CNAME. Very important to note. We're going to go over here to Domain Manager, Add, and the type, we're going to match it. CNAME, CNAME. Host, we're going to get all of that, or just click copy. And this is what I'm referring to. So where your domain name appears here, you're going to highlight your entire domain name and then include the one character over, which is the period, and delete that out of the field. Then you're going to click value, and you would click save. I'm not going to do it because this is just an example. It's a sample account. And again, copy, come over here, paste, take the entire domain, also move one character over to collect the period, delete that, value, copy, paste, save. Just like with MailChimp, you're going to want to give these changes some time to actually refresh throughout the internet, and you're going to want to give it up to 24 hours if you discover that these records aren't being recognized. So when you're ready to verify, you would check this and click verify. Now for me, this isn't going to work, but I'll just show you. And this is what appears when they're unable to locate your records. For the Demark record, I recommend a Demark record wizard to all of my clients. I'm going to include a link to it in the description. But you would start by just typing in your domain, start creating, And in the beginning, you just want to collect data. You just want to see if someone's spoofing your email. You're going to want to select an email address for the reports to be sent to. You're not going to want to select a monitored email address. You're going to want to use something like postmaster@domain.com or something that you're not checking every day, but you have access to when you want to actually check it. So I'm going to use Postmaster. Next, no, I do not want to receive individual failure reports. We're going to do relaxed alignment, and this is something that we'll talk about in further detail if necessary, but for now, I just recommend you select the relaxed alignment. Do you want a different policy for subdomains? No. And we're going to apply this to 100% of our emails. And so we have the values right here. We have the record type, and the host location. So I'll show you how to do so in both GoDaddy and the cPanel. So again, this is a text record, very important. Make sure that type matches. Host, we're gonna grab this. And as you should know by now, what is it that we need to remove? The entire domain. Then we're going to go one over, remove the period as well. I know you knew that, so don't worry, I knew. Then we're going to grab the actual record itself, copy, paste, save, you're done. I'll also show you how to do it in cPanel though, just to ensure you got it. Add record, text, very important. We're gonna match up text with that record. Grab this entire string. Very important that you grab every character that is listed. The record, copy, paste. You would click add record. I am not, because I have all of this stuff again, but you would. So anywhere you see me clicking cancel, you're gonna wanna click add record. Okay, be serious. You didn't think you could do this, right? Sender authentication seems so complicated, but it's very easy. And it's one of those things that is extremely tough to explain, but the process of adding the records is so easy. And I'm just super proud that you spent the last 20 minutes or so with me following along in this process. If you run into any problems, I'm gonna drop a link below. You can hire me for an hour just to go ahead and take care of this for you, take it off your hands if you're super busy. I got you, it's no problem. In the meantime, do follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Anthony Burno. Again, I appreciate you all spending this 20 minutes with me. And until next time.